Hello everyone, I am Santosh and welcome to my channel Learning Bits. In this video, we are just going to discuss how we are going to design and how we are going to display a 3D Sierpinski gasket using tetrahedron. We are going to have a tetrahedron shape. So we are going to divide this tetrahedron in such a way that it is going to appear like a 3D Sierpinski gasket. And whenever you want to divide, so we are going to use the concept of recursion. Hence we say we are going to display 3D Sierpinski gasket using tetrahedron which is recursively subdivided. And now whenever going to divide, so the program what we develop now, or the program which I am going to show you now, it is going to accept the number of steps from the user and it starts dividing. That is something like, for example, if I'm going to say steps of 0, there are 0 steps of division or 0 number of divisions. So I'm going to get this entire tetrahedron as it is without any division. And now when I say there is going to be a 1 division, this is what I'm going to get. The tetrahedron, this complete tetrahedron what I add has been divided. It's going to be divided into n number of tetrahedrons. So similarly for the step 2, I'm just going to have this many divisions, and for the step 3 further I'm going to have divisions, and further I'll be having more number of divisions. So this is what step by step the division is going to appear to be, and this is what exactly we are going to do in this particular program. Fine, hence we'll just shift on the programming. Fine, now just look at this program. Just written the basic main function and the basic APIs, and this is a 3D program, hence I need to use the double buffer, and out of those double buffer one should be the depth buffer. Fine, and if you want to have a clear idea about all this basic APIs, so you can just look into my previous videos. Fine, and now when I'm going to draw or when I want to display tetrahedron, as I told you, it is going to be of 4 points. That is what we are going to have a tetrahedron which is going to be of V1 as the first point, V2, V3 and V4. And if you just observe carefully, now this 3 points is going to be, it is going to be on one single plane. That is, this 1 point is going to be on the positive side of the z-axis, and this 3 points is going to be the negative of the z-axis. Hence, now keeping this as the z-axis, now I'm going to put this 3 points as the positive value of the z-axis and this as a negative value, or even the vice versa, however you going to feel. But make sure 1 point is going to be at the negative of the z-axis, and remaining all the 3, the base of the tetrahedron is going to be at the other end of your z-axis, or any value what you feel to give, you can give. But make sure if this is going to be the base, if V1, V2, V3 is going to be the base, so just keep those 3 points, the z value is going to be at the same position, and at the tip of the tetrahedron, so make it at the other side or a different value in the z-axis. And now this is going to be the x and y axis. So if I'm going to have this as a triangle, and now this is going to be minus 0.5, minus 0.5, this is similar to drawing like a triangle. I just want to draw a triangle, hence I am using this as the points to draw a triangle. Hence, so just to give some imagination and just think how we are going to draw a tetrahedron, keeping triangle as a base and keeping a point as a tip of a tetrahedron. And now whenever I'm going to have this tetrahedron, as I told you, it's going to contain 4 points, and each point is going to contain 3 values, the x, y and the z. Fine, so keeping this as the points, now let us build the instruction to draw a tetrahedron. And the other, all this APIs too, if you want to understand in detail, as I told, please refer my previous video. Fine, so now in this I need to draw a tetrahedron. So for that case, so let me have a function called tetra. It's a user defined function. Fine, basically which I'm going to build right now. And now how many parameters this tetra should take? it now depends upon you because it's an user defined function right now. Now whenever I want to draw a tetrahedron, I do require the 4 points, and there are the 4 points what I'm going to pass. And so the 4 points which have been identified, so just pass it as array. So if I say p of 0, this entire row becomes my first point, hence p of 0. And I'm going to have p of 1, I'm going to have p of 2, and I'm going to have p of 3. Now these are the 3 points which or 4 points which I'm going to pass for the function tetra. So now I'm just going to define the tetra, which is going to be the user defined function, which takes the 4 parameters. And so GL float, and the first point, let me name this as v1, and this size if you want you can mention, but if you even keep it empty, this will be auto filled by number of values what I pass from this actual parameter to formal parameter. Hence I'm going to have GL float v2, I'm going to have GL float and v3, and this should be uppercase, and so GL. So let me copy this and I'm going to paste over it. So now I'm going to have v1, v2, v3 and v4, and now I'm going to have v1 the first point, v2, v3 and the v4. I'm going to have the 4 points. And so now when I'm going to have a tetrahedron, so now just observe all the faces of this tetrahedron is going to be a triangle. It's going to be triangle. Now hence when I want to draw a tetrahedron, I need to draw the 4 triangles. The base as the first triangle, and the left face, the right face and the back face. I'm going to have 3 other faces as a triangle. Hence 1 base, 3 faces. I'll be having 4 triangle to be drawn. Hence I'm just going to build one more user defined function called as triangle and pass the parameter for this. And how many parameter this should take? It should take, because whenever I want to draw a tetrahedron, I need 4 points. If I want to draw a triangle, I do need 3 points. Hence I am going to pass the v1, v2 and v3, which is going to be the base of your tetrahedron. Hence I am just going to have this as the triangle. That is going to act as the base. So similarly I am going to have the 3 more faces again, which is the triangle. Now what points I need to pass for this? Now just observe. So the first point, so let me minimize this so that it will stay back here all the time so that I can refer. Fine. So now I'm just going to have base is going to be 1, v1, v2 and v3, and the next phase can be v1, v3 and v4. And so v1, so v3 and v4, and the next phase is going to be v2, v3 and v4. So v2, v3, v4. You can give in any order. You can start from v4, then go to v3 or v2 or v3. You can follow any order, start from anywhere and end at anywhere. And the next point is v1, v2 and v4. I'm going to have v1, v2 and v4. Fine. I'm just going to have the remaining other 3 phases going to be with these points. So now when I execute this program, I should be able to get a tetrahedron, but before that don't forget to define the triangle function. Hence I'm going to have GL triangle. I'll be using the 3 points, hence I need to have 3 parameters for here. Hence I'm going to have with the 3 parameters, and let me name the first parameter as A, which is going to be the first point for to draw a triangle, and B as the second point to draw a triangle, and so on. And to draw a triangle, I'm going to have GL begin and GL triangles, or I can say GL polygon will also work, and GL end. And if you want to have a good idea about how all this API is going to work, as I told, so refer my previous video where I have been showing you the basics of OpenGL program with the basic APIs which are necessary. Fine. So with this, so GL vertex function, So GL vertex 3FV because it's an 3-dimensional point, and pass it as E. Now even about all this GL vertex function have been discussed in detail in my previous videos. Hence I'm going to have A, B and C. Now when I execute this particular program, let me maximize this. So if I execute this particular program, I think I should be able to see a tetrahedron. Hence for this we are just going to build this. If there are no errors, I'm going to get a executable code. As there are no errors, so now let me execute this. Fine. So now if you just see, I'm able to see only one triangle because all the triangles right now at this point, even I'm not sure whether this is visible actually or not. But as all the faces are of same color, I'm not able to distinguish whether the tetrahedron has been properly formed or not. And so for that purpose, so let me give different color for this different face of the triangle. And where do I do so? So before I'm going to draw this triangle, so now base of the triangle will have the default color, and so GL color 3F, and I'm going to keep it as white color, and so I'm going to give 1 1 1 and so on. And the next face I just want it to be of the color red, and so I'm going to give 1 0 0. And the next face I want it to be of green color, and so 0 1 0. And the next face is going to be of blue, and so I'm going to have 0 0 1. Right, so I've given different colors for different faces, so this should be a good estimation from, yeah, this is fine, this is working fine. Then I've got 3 faces. I got 3 faces over here, and the one face is behind this, that is the base of your tetrahedron. Now this should work fine. Yes, it's working fine. And if you just observe, this particular tip of tetrahedron is not properly aligned. So I just need to drag it down and put somewhere over here. Hence, with respect to y-axis of the 4th point, I need to change the value. So I'll just go for the 4th point, the y value. Instead of giving 0.1, let me give it as 0.02 or 25, whatever the value you think is going to be appropriate for your design. So now let me execute this and check it out. So compile this and execute. Yeah, still this should be dragged down, and let me give this as 0.01. It's almost fine, but still it should be dragged. So let me give this as what about 0.0? No, it's not yet fine. I'm just going to give this as minus. I'll just keep it as minus, x-axis as minus 0.2. It's too much, and it's minus 0.1. It's almost fine, but let me give this as 0.05. Fine, you can give any other value. Yeah? I think it's almost properly aligned. Now this is what we are going to have a tetrahedron right at this form, and if you see these faces are not right, and you can just drag these points wherever you want, and you can draw the tetrahedron the way you want. Fine, now this is what the tetrahedron is going to look like now. But now actually what I was supposed to have is, I'm just going to form a tetrahedron, and the division should give me something like this. That is, I add one tetrahedron. After one division, I'll be having this 4 tetrahedrons. So now for this purpose, which is going to follow a recursive subdivision, so we are just going to put the conditions here. So now whenever we are going to draw a tetrahedron, so instead of having just this as tetrahedron, I'm just going to call a function called as div, an user defined function. That is when I want to divide the tetrahedron, and so I'm just going to have div. So now for this div function, whatever the 4 points I was passing here, the same 4 points I'm going to pass for the division function. So I'll just tell you why I'm using the division function. Fine. So now again, this is an user defined function, and so void div, and this is going to be a recursive function, and the recursive will depend upon the value of n, that is the number of divisions what I want to apply for your tetrahedron. So right now I will just keep it as 0 division. Later on let me change this, hence I'm just going to cut this tetrahedron from this parameter, and I'm going to put this inside this function. Fine. And now I just want the same 4 parameters as of tetrahedron. I'll just copy this and paste it over here. So now hence to draw a tetrahedron, I'll be just passing v1, I'll be passing v2, and I will be passing v3, and I will be passing v4. I'm just going to pass this 4 parameters. Fine. Along with this 4 parameters, I need to have one more parameter called as n, that is the number of division. And so now in this, check the condition. If n is going to be greater than 0, then I need to divide the tetrahedron, else I need to draw a tetrahedron. Is it fine? So right now in this case I am passing n as 0, and so this condition should fail because n is 0, because the parameter what I am passing is 0, and so I am going to have condition to be false. I'll go to else, and I'm going to draw a tetrahedron. Now this should work, I hope. So I'm just going to compile this and execute this. So there's the same output now. So now what if the value is 1? What should happen now? So whenever the value is going to be 1, this condition should be true. And I need to make one division. From this, and next I need to draw a tetrahedron. I should divide. So how do I divide? I'm just going to look at this program. I'm going to have v1, v2, v3, v4. I have 4 points already. So now between v1 and v2 I'm going to find the midpoint. I'm going to have a line now. In this line, find the midpoint, that is v12. I'm just naming this is not v12. We can read this as v12. The variable name why I'm giving as v12 is just for simplicity of understanding. The midpoint between v1 and v2 is v12. Similarly, find the midpoint between v3 and v2 as v23, and so on. So first of all, let us find the midpoint. Hence I'm going to find the midpoint because this is one division. I need to find the midpoints and draw the 4 tetrahedrons. Hence for that case, I'm just going to have the first midpoint, which is going to be between these 2 points. Hence I'm going to have v12, and now this is a variable which I need to define. Hence I'm going to have gl float. I'll be having v12, so which is going to be of 3 points, because I need to store the x value, the y value, and the z value. Hence I'm going to have 3. Hence I'm going to find the mid value of x by using the x value of v1 plus the y value, the x value of v2, and find or divide this by 2. Now this is going to give me the midpoint x value, the x value of the first midpoint. And so just copy this and paste over here. So similarly do it for y and for z. Hence z value of v1, z value of v2. Similarly the y values I'm going to find. Now this is going to find the first midpoint v12. Fine. So now similarly as we have done for v12, I need to find the midpoint for v23. And so just copy this, paste it over here. I am going to have this as v23, and this is 23. I am going to have v23, and this is the midpoint between v2, and this is going to be 3, and similarly we are going to find the midpoint V31. I'm going to find the midpoint between V3 and V1 as V31. So similarly, I'm just going to complete this. So now I completed the blocks of statements for the remaining midpoints, and so now I'm going to have 6 midpoints. So now if we look at totally, I'm going to have 10 points, the 4 points which we had used for total the main tetrahedron and the 6 midpoints of this tetrahedron, and that is what we are going to have, this 6 midpoints along with the main 4 points as the 10 points. Now using this, we're going to display the tetrahedron. So now in this case, when the condition is true for n is greater than 0, we are going to be in this block for the true case of the if statement, and once I am going to be in this block, I have been divided the tetrahedron and I have got 10 points now. So now I need to display all these 4 tetrahedrons, but now I will just show you how exactly we are going to display those. But as this entire Sierpinski gasket, whatever we display, is going to depend upon the recursive nature or recursion, and so now I am going to call the division function recursively by passing the parameters. And so now I am just going to maximize this. Now division function should take 4 points and the number of division as parameter. And so now I am just going to call the division function recursively, and the 4 points what I am going to use now is going to be for this tetrahedron, this first tetrahedron. Just observe only this first tetrahedron, V1, V12, V31, and so I'm going to have V1, and I'm going to have V12, and I'm going to have V31, and the tip of this tetrahedron is V14, and I'm going to have n-1 because one division has been completed, and so I'm going to say it as n-1. So now let me save this and I'm going to compile. There is some problem with this. Yeah, so this is going to be 1 for one division. So save this and I'm going to compile this. Now you can see I'm able to see only this part of my display. There is only one tetrahedron right now. Now if I want to display the second tetrahedron also, this is for one division. If I want a second tetrahedron also, then in this recursive if condition statement, when the condition is true, when I divide the point, I'm just going to call the recursive function for the division for second time. But now for this tetrahedron, now this point, this and this becomes the base and the tip becomes V24, and so I'm going to have the point as P12, and I'm going to have V2, and I'm going to have V23, and the tip is going to be V24, again the n-1 as the number of division which I'm going to call. And the next tetrahedron, fine, or before this, so let me show you how this 2 tetrahedrons will be displayed. Now this is going to be the 2 tetrahedrons, fine. So similarly for the third tetrahedron, I'm going to call the division function, and I'm going to have V31. I'll be using V31, and I'm going to use V23 and V3, and the tip is going to be V34. Now just observe this tetrahedron, fine. So now when I compile this and I'm going to execute, I'm going to have the 3 tetrahedrons, and the 4 tetrahedrons. Now the tip of this 3 tetrahedrons becomes the base, and the V4 becomes the tip of the 4th tetrahedron. Hence I'm going to call the division function for the 4th time. So where I'm going to have tip of first tetrahedron is V14 and V24 and V34, and the tip of 4th tetrahedron is V4. Now compile this and execute. Now this is the tetrahedron or Sierpinski gasket what we have got, the 3D Sierpinski gasket. Fine. So now using this recursion for one division, now if I'm going to say it as 0, as we have developed it recursively, now I'm going to end with only one tetrahedron without any division. and if I'm going to give it as 2, and if I compile this and if I execute, it's going to divide itself recursively without doing any modification. This is what we say recursively subdividing the tetrahedron to form a Sierpinski cascade. Even if I'm going to give this as 4, you need not modify anything, but it's going to form a 3D Sierpinski cascade. So this is what you're going to do in this particular program. But in the program, they have mentioned the number of divisions, what I'm specifying here. Rather than being a constant, it should be a variable. Hence for that, let me pass a variable called as n, so which I am going to declare this as a global variable, hence float n, and let me maximize this, float n, and the value of n, I am going to read it from the console. And so printf, so enter the number of division, enter the number of division steps, or division steps, or division steps. Fine. And I'm going to use scanf %d and read the value into address of n. And now save this, compile this, and execute, and give the value, or give the input as 1. This is going to be 1 division. And again execute this and give the value as 2. This is going to be 2 divisions. And give the value as 0. This is going to be 0 divisions. So you can give any parameter and just make one correction here. I made it as float. It should be integer to work it fine. Fine. So this is all what I should say in this video. Thank you for watching. And if you have liked this video, please put it in the comment section. And for such further explanation, do subscribe and follow my channel. Thank you.